Welcome to You Chic, the college girl's guide to everything. Whether you're headed to college or are already there, one thing is certain: college is the time to expand your horizon. You need to experience college in your own way, and our guide is here to help you discover it. With the endless choice you'll face in college, you'll often have questions and find yourself in need of a little advice. Our hope is that you find your answers here. We asked college women across the country to dish about their collegiate experiences, challenges, and successes. The result? A guide that provides you with exclusive advice that could only come from those who have experienced it for themselves. From preparing to move, to dating advice, to balancing that all-important budget, to finding the right balance of school and fun, you will find answers and insights to your important questions in these shared experiences from college women around the country. This is a book that you can turn to throughout your entire college career. In that spirit, don't feel like you need to sit down and read the book cover to cover, though that certainly won't hurt anything. Each of our contributors has answered specific questions, so you can turn right to the section you need when you need it. With You Chic, the conversation doesn't stop at the last page. Let's say you have a specific question that is not directly addressed. We've created an online chat area at youchic.com exclusively for readers, where you can comment on things that you've read in the guide, see further advice, or read more about, or even contact the guide's writers. This guide is truly the start of a conversation that can last throughout your entire college career. So what are you waiting for? Turn the page and be on your way to your own fabulous college experience. XOXO, Christy Garton, founder youchic.com. Chapter 1, Getting Started. Starting to get serious about where you'd like to go to college? Or maybe you were already accepted or packing for your new home now. Neither way, this chapter has you covered. You probably are already well aware that the transition to college is a major success. Stress. Besides, maybe summer camp. When else have you packed up your entire life's belongings into several boxes and suitcases to head off to an unknown place to live with some random stranger? To help smooth your path, this chapter is filled with insider advice on making this transition with confidence and style. As Carrie Bradshaw might say, we wish you were in your truth, starting the college experience all over again. Chapter 2, You, Getting In. I had known from the age of 12 that I was destined to attend Brown University. This had been decided before I had even visited the campus. I just read about it in one of my brother's college brochures, but regardless, I knew I was going to Brown to study theater and to be a free spirit under a requirement-free curriculum, and maybe join a naked protest or two. 6 years and a $70 application fee later, my hopes were dashed. I didn't get in. When I received that thin, impersonal rejection letter, I went through the Kubler-Ross cycle of grief faster than you can say safety school. First, there was denial. No way, I totally got in. They got the wrong Allison Davis. Then anger. Those bargaining, those jerks, what do they know about college admissions? Followed by bargaining. I'll retake my SATs, do 600 more hours of community service, anything. Next, depression. My world has ended, and finally, acceptance. Did you know? The schools with the lowest acceptance rates are actually music schools. Philadelphia's Curtis Institute of Music and New York's Juilliard School have acceptance rates less than 8%. Harvard comes in next at 9%. Honestly, the rejection letter stung a lot. You spend 4+ years slaving over SATs, GPAs, APs, extracurriculars, and enough community service to be on par with a Peace Corps member just to qualify for consideration at your dream school, the only university or college that you fervently believe matches who you are and, more importantly, who you want to become. It's almost like an unhealthy romantic relationship. Your whole self-worth becomes involved in impressing the one. It is disappointing to be so brusquely rejected by what was your collegiate soulmate. How to cope? So you did not get a fat acceptance package from your first choice school. Disappointing? Absolutely. But devastating? No. If you get rejected from your first or second or third choice school, give yourself some time to be upset, but remember there are about 6 billion different possible reasons for an admission decision. There is almost no way to understand the why, which is really frustrating. Rather than wallow over the unanswerable why by tearing yourself and your application apart, focus on what you do have. Other college choices. When I got my rejection letter from Brown, I cried, threw things, tore up the letter, but then I got some sanity back. Brown was one school out of 13 that I applied to, and at the end of the whole ordeal, I may not have gotten into Brown, but I end up with 12 other acceptances and eventually was accepted to the school that I now proudly call my alma mater, Barnard College. Once you've been rejected, you may feel a little lost as to what to do next. Since we can't all create our own fake colleges like Justin Long did in the movie Accepted, considering other real schools is the logical next step. What not to do when you get your college acceptance letter. Kylie Thompson, Harvard University. Congrats, you made it through college acceptance and rejection season. Whether or not this was the year your own fate was up to the admission gods, I'm sure you ran into a few obnoxious Facebook statuses, lost pre-frosh on your campus's visiting weekend, or saw tears from family friends whose hearts were set on a particular school. While the days leading up to finally finding that letter in your mailbox may be some of the most nerve-wracking in a student's high school career, it's important to remember not to overshare when those acceptances do roll in. Case in point, recently college blogs were all abuzz when one student took his excitement at being accepted to a number of great schools a little too far. Updating his Facebook status one night, he wrote, "I just got my admittance letter into Yale, Duke, Northwestern, Penn, and Columbia. Now Harvard is begging my ass to go to their school. Fully paid scholarship. LOL. Nah, kiss my ass. FUCK Harvard, I don't need no Harvard or no scholarship. Haha. No, really though, I'm going to Harvard, guys. Woo! D. This is unacceptable on many levels. First off, admissions decisions had not yet been mailed out to students by the night he wrote those fateful words, "I should know since I work there." Secondly, no Ivy League school offers scholarships to students, only financial aid made up of need-based grants. Thirdly, this is just a post in poor taste. Rumor has it Harvard rescinded the student's admission, and in my opinion, deservedly so. While it's great to be proud of your achievements, Facebook, or any social media site for that matter, it is not the venue for shameless boasting of this nature. That should probably be saved for immediate family, Nona and Nono, or the teacher who gave you a C. In algebra, I in the 8th grade. What to do if you applied early decision. If you applied early decision or early action and didn't make it in, go talk to the college counselor at your high school. You have a nice stretch of time to reconsider schools and find new ones. Before you go, make a list of the reasons you fell in love with the first choice university. Was it the rural environment, the ivy-covered brick buildings? Was it the out-of-this-world biochemistry department? Well, guess what? Other campuses have the same things. Your college counselor can help you find other schools with similar criteria and whose admission standards more closely fit what you have to offer. Something else to consider in the tabula rasa approach to looking for new schools. By weighing your original reasons for choosing your first choice school, you also have a second choice to evaluate what you actually want out of a college. In high school, especially, it is so easy to be pushed into a neat little box with a concise label. I'm sure you can hear it now. You are the really athletic girl or the really brainy girl. But maybe there is another girl inside that you need to explore. College gives you that opportunity. Consider applying to a school that has what you know are interested in, like a good badminton team, but might also have a strong reputation in something you want to pursue in the future. A whole new set of possibilities. I always considered myself the quirky alternative theater girl. I thought I wanted to be in a small town where most of your life revolved around the campus. I also wanted a campus with a strong academic history and, yes, with ivy-covered buildings. Once I didn't get into Brown, I considered other schools just like it. Vassar and Bowdoin were my next top candidates. My college counselor reminded me that I was an active writer and that maybe I should consider schools that had strong writing programs. It was a great suggestion. I had always intended to go to school for theater, something that I had done almost my entire life, but by expanding my college search to those with well-known writing programs, I began to see a whole new set of options, and what I had thought I had wanted out of a school changed. Suddenly, I was attracted to schools in bigger cities like Bernard, and though I still have my ivy-covered buildings, campus life is no longer the focal point of my social activity. Truly, Bernard helped me discover my real passion and develop into a person I didn't even know I could be. And maybe this would have happened at Vassar or Bowdoin as well, but the reevaluations I did during my second admissions process opened a lot of possibilities. For regular decision applicants, if you applied regular decision and didn't get in, you'll have other admission decisions coming at the same time, meaning there are likely several acceptance letters to look forward to. Even though you really wanted to go to first choice university, there were reasons you liked all the other schools you applied to. Go back and reconsider those reasons. If you have the time, go spend a weekend at one or two of the schools that are your remaining top choices. The most important things to remember is to stop comparing it to first choice university. It's fine to say, well, I really liked how that school had eco-friendly dorms. But if you are comparing the linoleum of the dorm room floors, you are setting yourself up for disappointment in the end. Look at the positive aspect of each school rather than considering what it doesn't have. You chic tip. Once you find a school or schools you want to apply to, go back to your college counselor and ask for application hints. For instance, let's say that you play varsity lacrosse during your 4 years of high school, but you also sing in the chorale. Your college counselor can help you work both of those unique experiences into your personal essay. Or maybe you'll find that your application is perfect already, but chances are, with a reevaluation and some helpful hints from your high school's resident college expert, you can find some ways to better your chances for the second round of applications. I know it's cheesy to remind you of the old saying that you'll end up where you were meant to be, but it's kind of true. Somehow, even if the school you end up going to isn't the one you thought you wanted, it may end up being the best fit. You chic tip, Ivy or not? That is the question. Jill Reve-Scher, Academy of Art University. Did you get into an Ivy but are still trying to figure out how to pay for it? Did another non-Ivy institution offer you a better financial aid package or even a full ride? There is so much to worry about when ending college, from choosing courses to picking majors to making new friends. These are supposed to be some of the best years of your life, and you don't need financial burdens keeping you down and affecting your overall health and performance. That is why it is essential for you to make smart financial decisions today that will allow you to successfully graduate on time and be able to pursue the career of your dreams without back-breaking debt. If you can't afford to attend the Ivy League institution, it may not be the best option. Sure, it is wonderful to attend a prestigious university and call it your alma mater, but it is not the end-all, be-all. Also, studies show that there really isn't that much proof that an Ivy education gets you more ahead in life than an education from a state or trade school. Certainly, some extra prestige and clout may initially open up doors for you, but ultimately it is up to you to keep them open and to prove yourself and your abilities. Don't be afraid to choose the non-Ivy school that offered you a great financial aid package. You can always transfer to an Ivy location at a later time or attend grad school at an Ivy. If it ends up being something you still aspire to do, the bottom line, getting an education of any kind from a private or public university or even trade school in an area you were passionate about is a wonderful accomplishment. Final thoughts. After 3 years at Bernard, I know that I loved where I was, but I always wondered, what if I had gone to Brown? Well, I went to visit a friend of mine who attended Brown last year. The campus was as beautiful as I had remembered. Providence is a great town, and I really liked the people. But there is something missing for me this time I went back. If I had gone to Brown, I never would have been able to take a writing class where Rachel Weisz made an appearance so we could learn the art of interviewing. I would never have been able to spend my semesters interning at the New York Times, and I would not have been able to hop on a subway and to see a Tony-winning play and then come back to campus and hang out at a dorm party later in the evening. I would have missed out on so many different and wonderful opportunities. And the funny part of this story is that my friend who goes to Brown chose it because she hadn't gotten into Columbia University in New York City. After I had been going on and on about how much I loved going to school in the city and how much I loved Bernard, she said, if I had gone to Columbia, I would have been lost. Brown was such a better fit. So case in point, sometimes the things we ask for aren't really the things we need. If your first choice university took a pass, be grateful because your second or third or fourth choice will most likely be the better choice in the end. Insights provided by Allison Davis, Bernard College.